As a keynote speaker, my motto, my challenge for my audiences is simply this: I dare you to care about the way that you are moving through this world. I'm Sylvia Baffour, and I'm from Ghana. I'm a professional speaker, emotional intelligence coach, author, and I thrive on the idea that I can help people improve the way that they're moving through this world.
How can I better manage internally what is often impacting me externally from the outside that is sometimes out of my control?
When it comes to all the challenges that people face within organizations, right? Resistance to change, problems with employee engagement, psychological safety. What I've found is useful in terms of strategies that I bring to the organization is to focus on mindset, right? So much of the problems we face are human problems. One of the biggest things I like to focus on is how are your people managing internally what is impacting them externally that is often out of their control.
When you shift your self-talk, you shift your mind.
What happens, for instance, in the home comes to work with you. And if your people are not managing their emotions properly, they're impacting your bottom line. Customers they're dealing with, the clients they're interacting with. Your people interacting with people, not managing their emotions can be a really big problem for organizations' ultimate goals.
Think about it. You guys are in polarizing conversations and meetings that are tense, bringing up all kinds of feelings within you, right? But guess what? When times are tough, the first thing that leaves us out the window, out the doors, out of this world is our self-talk. The conversations that we are having with ourselves about what's happening around us.
I believe that if I do not understand my audience, I do not get up on stage, period. Hands down, end of story. And so for me, the way that I connect with people's varied backgrounds, cultural experiences before my keynote presentation is to actually interview. I interview the stakeholders, I interview meeting planners. I want to understand everyone in my audience and get a nice broad spectrum of the people within that organization. You know, one of the most important things for me is to make sure my keynotes are interactive.
The goal is that Roseanne is going to have to get from point A to point B. The trick is she has to do it blindfolded.
The saying goes, the mind will only absorb what the hind end can endure. And so I want to make sure that my people are up in their seats, enjoying themselves while they're learning. We all want to be the kinds of people others enjoy being around. And that takes behind the scenes work. And so while emotional intelligence can feel like such a grand concept, I invite people to think about on a basic level, can I be a little bit more aware of the way I intend to be experienced versus the way I'm actually being experienced, and bridge that gap so that there's not a surprise between how others experience you and how you hoped they would. In fact, I have a funny saying that I like to think about, and it's, do people crave your presence or do people crave your absence?
As leaders in your community, absolutely you have an impact. I think it was the famous comedian Jim Carrey who once said that the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Think about that. The effect that each and every one of you has on others is the most valuable currency there is because of all that it can buy you, influence and inspiration for those you're leading.
One of my biggest points of differentiation as a speaker in the field of keynote speakers, I believe, is my background. I've lived in multiple countries around the world. I speak 5 languages, and so it allows me to connect with people from varied backgrounds, varied life experiences.
So with Sylvia today, I got an opportunity to hear about concepts that I've been learning through therapy. And she was able to explain it in a way that I was able to grasp those concepts. And then just being empowered, really, to make those changes, to create that new life, to see that new vision, and just daring to do it. So I really enjoyed it.
The idea of managing stress and challenges really hit home. And there's a lot of things that come up at work, and having the tools to be able to work through them really helps.
So when I think about the work that I do, the opportunity to help people better manage conflict, communicate more effectively, build inner resilience, and successfully navigate through their personal and professional relationships, it is an absolute privilege that I do not take for granted.